Alright, I'm on Vespucci, Exit Square. Wait,
Vespucci.
hold it. No. It's San Andreas by the parking lot. There you are. Yeah, there
Oh, you look so different.
you are. Yeah. It's a different. I had to make another guy.
All right, let's get you in. Let's get you signed on duty, and let's get started.
Okay.
I'm super excited. So basically, Sophie, to fill you in, Rocksteel is probably one of the best coaches slash mentors you can get for police work, and you're very lucky that he had time to come in. To be honest with you, but mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Alright. Hello, Sophie.
Hello.
I'm guessing you don't have the PD
How are
job
you?
here right now, still.
No, this is a different.
Yeah.
This has to be a different database for sure.
Yeah, it is a different database. Let me just hire
Okay.
you.
All right. The name is the recruit. I didn't know how long we're gonna be here. Good. Okay. That says unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go. Okay.
let's just get you all your things, and let's get started.
All right. So. Oh, I gotta go on duty. That's right. Gotta go on duty.
I'm pretty sure you are on duty as soon as you get hired, are you not?
No, there's no blue circles in there. There's nothing in there. So. Okay, I'm. Let's see. One,
Just
two.
do slash HUD off.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the HUD is on and it shows unemployed. It doesn't say that I'm off
Okay,
duty.
okay.
Yeah,
Let me
so
hire you.
it's the recruit is the name. Yeah. Okay, now it says recruit. Okay.
Perfect.
Now I come over here. It says I'm 1042.
Yeah, go 41. Just press the button.
Press it again. Okay. All
There
right.
we go, you're
Okay.
fine.
All right. Here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Okay. All right.
Alright, just hang on 1 second because it seems she's having some issues with her head, and then we can slowly begin. Do you need anything?
Oh, the weapons, right? Can I get weapons?
weapons.
Yeah, I'll get
Yeah,
the weapons.
weapons,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do you like
Looks good that your hair comes through it for some reason.
that?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now so what would you like to start with? This is also for me to learn from you how you would conduct these. Should you just do it your way?
Okay.
Right.
So somebody first starting off, like what we just did, we have to be hired. We have to get our uniform. We have to get our weapons. Okay. Then we need to get a vehicle. Then we need to learn how to operate the stuff in the vehicle. Because if I'm out with one of you and I'm shot, and let's say I'm training a trainee, and I'm shot, that trainee needs to drag me out of the car, put me in the car, or get me to the hospital. So they know how to need to use the siren, the air horn, change the siren sound if there is one, like the phaser when you go through an intersection if there is one, to get people out of your way, things like that. So basically, there's a lot of things to do when you first start off with a brand new person. Something that some people won't know is when you get your weapons, you press number 6. Okay, so Sophie, press number 6. Okay, all right, all right. Now press 6 again. Okay. Now you have your taser, right? This is what some people don't know. Now press number 2. Okay. Now you've gone empty hands, right? Now when you press number 6 again, the last thing that you put away is the first thing you're going to pull out. Okay? That way you can tell, okay, if I go to my holster, am I going to bring out my taser or my pistol? And this can be like, if you pull out your taser for someone that's shooting at you at a distance, it's not going to work. You're not going to tase someone inside a store that's shooting at you. So you need to know very quickly. Now the alternative to this is press the tab button and you see that great big window that comes up in your face. Now you can't do anything. Now you can't see. But you can duck down by a car and do the number 6 or the number 2 and switch, switch items, okay? All right. Do we have a way to stash our shotgun and rifle so we're not pulling it out of our ear, Captain, or no?
Sadly not at this point in time, but it's key to implement
All right. So basically, to satisfy the RP gods, okay? You only pull out your rifle or your shotgun if you can't stash it. You pull it out at your car. So you get out of your car. Captain can show us how to get out of the car and make sure that the door doesn't shut so we can use it for cover. Then you're ducking down and then you're typing. I don't know if you type or you grab it out of the car. You grab it out of your inventory, but you do it like you're grabbing it out of your car. Because most police cars in the U.S., in a lot of big cities, there is a shotgun that's in the rack between the 2 bucket seats, and there's also a rifle. Some cities have the rifle in the trunk in a case, and I can understand that too. But you want to RP that out. If you pull out your rifle or your shotgun. Okay. I'm going to go over weapon safety. Captain, you want me to go over weapon safety?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say you pull your weapon out. It might be let's say you pull out your pistol, okay, and you're going to go into a store. Okay, so we're going to breach, right? So if you're breaching and you're behind somebody, you're behind a partner, and you're moving in, don't move in right behind them because your weapon is up. So what you want to do is be to the side of them. Say, 1, I'm to your right. 2 is to your right. And number 3, common sense, 3 is to your left. Okay, so now we know, right? So if 1 and 3 go to the left side of the door and 2 and 4 go to the right side of the door, everybody has an assignment to go in. But what you want to do about the weapon safety is I don't want, let's say this wall here, this corner of the wall here is a body. Okay, I'm not going to pass my weapon. I'm not going to pass my weapon across the body of another officer because if something happens, it could be an explosion. It could be something that gets my, explosion. Something that happens, gunfire like behind you that surprises you, might make you accidentally fire your trigger. So you don't want to have your weapon up near anybody else. So if you and I were to go in the building, I'd say get on my left, point at the building, and let's move up. Okay, and you press the shift button, and you're moving up. Not quite a run, but not a walk either. So you're moving in. Okay, so you do this. You don't want to have your weapon cross the body of anybody. Okay, the 4 safety factors for weapons is assume every weapon is loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you have a target. Don't aim at anything that you're not willing to shoot. And be aware of what is to the left and right and behind what you're shooting at. So if there's someone in a car, someone on the sidewalk across the street over there, and they're shooting at you, and then there's cars racing up and down the street, you got to be careful. So the best thing to do is come over here, take cover, and try to get a drop. Try to get a drop on this guy. When this guy changes direction, then come up and shoot at him. Okay, so you press the Q button, and that's how you squat down and take cover behind something. Okay. All right. For the taser, being realistic with the taser, press number 6 and bring your taser out. All right. So I'll hold my taser up. You can look at my taser. So on the taser on the front, if you look at your taser in first person through your eyes, these are the newer ones. This is probably the X30. Realistically, the X30 I believe is a 30-foot range, and the darts they spread 1 foot for every 7 feet. Okay, so realistically, uh, 3 car lengths, that's not realistic. You're going to tase somebody from here to the bush is about as far as I would, as about the most distance I would have when I'm going to tase somebody. When you tase somebody,
Okay.
when you tase somebody, they're flopping around on the ground. Don't touch them, okay? But do get up on them, get up close to them to where you can handcuff them when they come to. And the reason why you do that, you handcuff them so you get control of them. You gain and maintain control of them, okay? So if you tase somebody and you're not medically trained to remove the darts, you do one of two things. You either bring the person over here to the jail and call the EMS to meet you over here, or you call EMS to the field.
I actually came from EMS.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay, so I don't know what the policy is about the police in general pulling darts out, or are we calling EMS? You know what I mean? Or does the EMS train that we get?
Distance from the hospital, right? Because a lot of people on here just want to get on with their RP. If you can sense that the person wants
Oh, yeah.
RP, we do it with EMS. If not, we just pull them out and get them fucking to prison forever.
Okay, so we RP getting our first aid kit, getting band-aids, because all we need to do is I believe what they do is they pull the darts out, and what they have is they have barbs. So when they get into the skin, these barbs are grabbing onto the skin under the skin. Okay, if you know what I mean. So when you pull them out, they're going to tear the skin a little bit. They're going to make it bleed. So I believe it's wash it off with a, what is it called? Not a saline. What is it?
It's like
Antiseptic, right? Antibiotic liquid or something. You clean it, and you dry it, and then you put a Band-Aid on it. And if it keeps on bleeding and it can't be controlled with the Band-Aid because of their role playing, I got thin blood or whatever, then you take them to the hospital if we're going to do that. But I understand about the RP, Captain. People want to just get on with the RP. I understand that clearly. So the way I would RP it is I can take the darts out for you and take you to the jail, or we need to go to the hospital. What do you want to do? That's what I would do. If they say just pull them out, and then I would role play cleaning it. Do we have that much stuff in our bag for the police?
We do.
We do. Okay, so if we can do it ourselves, then fine. That's fine. People can get on with their RP. All right. 4 factors for the taser. Okay. Four incidents, 4 types of occasions where you don't want to tase someone else. You absolutely have to. Number 1 is if they are going to fall into a body of water. Okay, because that could kill them. If they're being shocked and they're in water at the same time. Don't tase them if they're going to fall off a raised elevation, like someone on a roof, standing way out on the edge. There's a big possibility if you tase somebody that they're going to fall off the roof. If you can avoid tasing them, that's great. Number 3 is don't tase them if they're going to fall into sharp objects. If they're running away from you with a knife in their hand, but there's no one for them to stab, then we have to take them down. But I guess you just do it if they're running towards somebody with a knife. Stop, or I'm going to shoot. It'd have to be a judgment call where you tase them when they have a knife. They could fall on top of the knife, is what I'm saying. Okay, so we'd have to use our judgment. Number 4 is don't tase people that are in a car that's moving faster than a speed that if they fall out of the car, they're going to die. 30 miles per hour, they'll fall out of the car, they'll slide on the ground, they'll get road rash, whatever. But don't tase someone that's just flying through the city, and because you're frustrated and you want to catch this guy and you're tired of chasing him, don't tase them when they're don't tase people off motorcycles either. If you tase someone in a car, this is me, I don't know if this is how we're going to do it here, but if I tase somebody out of a car, I'm going to tase them where we have the car blocked, but they're refusing to get out. So rather than get my stick out and whack the window, I've got to bust the window. If it's locked and they do the elbow thing and now the window's broken, now I can tase them if we're allowed to do that. But force-wise, in my opinion, that's not unreasonable to tase somebody to get out of the car. It is realistic. If you tase someone 3 times and you think they might be on drugs and that the taser has no effect, you still got to stop that person. So, in my view, the stick is next. Or maybe your taser is ineffective. Maybe someone else can get a different angle. Maybe they're wearing clothing that's too thick. Maybe a different angle has to happen. They shoot them in the legs or something with a taser. To tase them. If you're out of taser rounds, um, maybe someone else can tase the guy. It's a judgment call. But one step up above the taser is the stick. So are we using the stick on people that have no effect from the taser? Captain?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can, but generally, everybody has an effect from the taser in the city.
Okay. So basically, if you tase someone. Now, what is the effective range of the taser? Like, are we? Like I said, I'm not going to tase anybody further than that far away from where you're at, Captain, to the bush. That's as far away as I'm going to be. That's about
Yeah, that's
30
the way
feet.
to go. Yeah, the way you can taste, like it would not connect.
Yeah.
You're up 30 feet.
Yeah, because I've seen people chase him. Oh, I don't want to shoot the guy in the back, but he's 100 yards down the road, and even if the taser works, that's completely unrealistic.
Yeah, that doesn't
Okay.
work here.
Right. So, all right. So we got the weapons. We got the taser. All right. For the vehicle, when you're driving, this is what I think. What's his Wick, Mr. Wick last night that I rode with, Captain. Right. So Mr. Corporal Wick told me last night when you're driving code 2, hit your is it the air horn or you blip the siren, one or the other, to go, yeah, R to go through the intersection. Like your code 2, hit your siren a little bit, and go through the intersection, but stop and look left and right and check your lanes. Also be aware of cars coming straight at you that are going to turn in front of you. Okay, something important when you're driving code 2 or 3 and you're behind a local car. If you have the middle of your car aimed at the driver's side taillight of a local, they are going to move over to the right side. If you have your middle of your car pointed at the passenger side taillight of a local car, they're going to move to the left. Okay, and also be aware of some cars stop in their tracks. Okay, the big rigs and the big box trucks, they do not care about sirens or your air horn or anything or your lights. They completely ignore you. So be careful of that. Okay.
Could we go over
All right.
the estimation of force, just so?
Yeah.
It's as well?
Okay, so the 4 categories for force, the basics are cooperative. They do what you say. They follow your instructions. The second one is someone that doesn't follow your instructions, but when you walk up as if you're going to put your hands on them to guide them where you want them to go, they don't fight you. Okay, so that's resistive. Okay, assaultive is someone who you tell them what to do, they don't recognize your authority, they don't listen to what you say, and when you go to put your hands on them, they take a fighting stance as if they're ready to fight you. Okay, that's number 3. And number 4 is someone that does not care who you are or what you tell them. They're going to fight you, and they do attempt to harm you with a fist or a weapon, kicking you, punching you, picking up weapons and whatnot, trying to hurt you. Okay, what we use for police is ask, tell, make. Okay, so you ask them to do something like Captain, or let's say you and the with the gray hair and the braids, can you go stand over there by that wall for me, please? I need you over there, out of my way, please. That's cooperative when he does what I say. Okay, so now I'm talking to him again, and he's resistive. Sir, I need you to go over there and stand by that wall because you're in my way. He doesn't do what he says. He runs his mouth. So I go to put my hands on him. I hit the F6 and I go to citizen interaction, and then I go to escort. It doesn't work. Okay, so I go to escort him, and when I go to get behind him, he doesn't want me putting my hands on him, so then he goes over and he does what I say. That's resistive. Okay? He doesn't fight you. Number 3 would be someone, sir, I need you to go over there and stand by that wall over there. And now he takes a fighting stance, but he doesn't aggress me. So now I back up, okay, and I press number 6 and I take out my taser. And all I'm doing is having my taser out of my side so that he can see that, hey, if I don't do what the cop says, I might end up tased and cuffed and arrested. Okay? And it has a lot to do with how you speak to people when you tell them this. If you sound timid, or you don't speak up, or you sound paranoid and nervous, they're not going to take you seriously. All right? So, sir, in the gray hair, go over there now, or I'm going to tase you. Okay? There it is. He was assaultive, but when I took my taser out, I convinced him otherwise, and he did what I said. The next one is, we've already done number 1. We've gone over number 1 with him. He's resistive. Now he took a fighting stance, and now I tell him to go walk into the lobby. Start walking to the lobby over there. Walk into that lobby over there right now. He doesn't do it. He takes a fighting stance, and then he runs at me like he wants to fight me. I got my taser, bang, I hit him with the taser. And now he's on the ground flopping around. I move up and I cuff him. And I also put out on my radio my call sign, taser deployed, and my location. And you do this so that your partners can come over, so maybe a sergeant can show up and you can explain to a sergeant why you used the force. In case that person that gets tased wants to file a complaint with the sergeant is aware of the situation. That's what I would do anyway. I don't know if that is in fact a requirement, but I suggest if you use force like a taser and up, that you let a sergeant know right away. So if it does come back to them, that they're aware of what took place. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I would say Ida 8 in front of Mission Row, taser deployed. I need a sergeant and 1 unit backup. I would use my 10 codes. If I knew my 10 codes, I would use my 10 codes.
I don't be.
Okay, if people are talking, I don't know if there's a 10 code to break everybody up. 10:30, or break. Ida 8 in front of Mission Row, taser deployed on 1 subject. I need 1 unit backup and a sergeant to my location. And you get a sergeant come over so you can let them know what's going on. Plus, if the force continues, a sergeant is there to guide you. If you're not doing something that the sergeant thinks needs to be done, he tells you to do it, and then you do it. And you do it exactly the way he wants you to do it, when he wants you to do it. And it makes a big difference. Because if he says cuff him, and you don't move up and cuff the guy, and the guy gets up and runs, if you would have followed the order, the guy wouldn't be running off. You know what I mean? Okay? You at least attempt. So if the guy's on the ground flopping around and he stops, cuff him. You go up to cuff him, and you squat down like you're going to cuff him, and all of a sudden he jumps up and takes off. At least you tried. At least you moved up to cuff him, but the guy was too fast. He got up and he started running away. And then maybe a taser needs to be used. Maybe more backup needs to be present.
Okay, so if you are squatted down, trying to cuff them, and if they do get up and start running, are we
Tase them.
So it's just straight tasing.
Right. Yeah. Well, if they're close enough for you to tackle, and you've already tased them, but they're close enough to tackle, maybe too close to tase them, then yes, tackle them to the ground and try to cuff them. And the reason why I say that is if you're too close to somebody with a taser and you go to tase them, it's going to hit them in the head with the butt of the gun. Okay? Have you seen that, Captain? Okay. That's it right there. There you go. Oh, man. All right. Glasses flew off. Uh-oh. That's what would happen if you're too close. But if that is an option, you use the butt of your taser as a weapon of necessity. That's what that is. That's what it becomes. Because if there's not enough time, if you have your taser in your hand, okay, but you're too close to tase and you hit him with the butt of the gun, your taser, the butt of your taser, become a weapon of necessity because you were too close to tase the person. Because here in 5M, we can't do what's called a dry tase, where you take the cartridge off with and you put it up to their body and you dry tase them. Makes them flop around the ground as if they're tased with the darts. That's what I believe how it's done, is you take the cartridge off. The darts can't, I don't think, if the darts can't come out of the blast door, it's going to be ineffective. That's why I think, realistically, real life, they take the darts off, the cartridge off the front of it, put it up to the body and dry tase. We can't do that here, but the butt of the gun on the forehead is just as effective, because it'll knock them out. It won't kill them. It'll knock them out. You're still going to need EMS over. You're going to need a sergeant so you can explain what's going on. Okay. Now, are you going to record, Sophie?
Record?
Record or stream?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Just be able to take notes of what happened, why you did what you did when you used force. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
In the event that someone. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that if something happens and you don't have a recording, or maybe there's another officer there with a body cam, that would help out too. Okay. So, yeah. If you take your taser out, it's time to call for backup. Okay. It really is. If you have your taser out at your side, okay, for whatever reason, okay, it's time to call for at least one more unit, because if you're not streaming, another unit might show up and they might have body cam, okay, and then they can help you out and whatnot. Okay. All right. Let's go over. Let's see. You have a guy at gunpoint. You believe he's a bank robber. Okay. And you have him at gunpoint. He's over here at the bush. You're by yourself right now. There's nothing saying in the SOP that you're required to move up on that guy. You can say, I would say, Ida 8, I need backup at the front of Mission Row, holding one at gunpoint. I need one unit, code 3 backup. They come code 3, I got my gun on the suspect, and when my partner gets here, he sees that I've drawn down on the guy, my partner should come up and cuff him. And now, if the guy is here facing the bush, and he's going to cuff him, I'm going to move this way. So if I need to shoot, I'm not going to shoot my partner. So my partner is moving up to cuff him, and I've got my gun on the guy in case the guy does something stupid like try to pull a gun out. Okay? All right. I recommend that if you are in a situation where a guy is by himself, you're by yourself, and you're holding him at gunpoint, that you don't do it with the taser, because if the guy runs around a corner and gets a gun out, and you have to switch from your gun to your taser to your gun, you're giving him time, and he's going to know that. He's going to know from knowing that you have your taser out, he's going to know that you have to take the time to stop to take your weapon out, to switch weapons. So if you go with the pistol, and he's standing there at the bush, and you call your partner over, that's better, because if he pulls out a lethal weapon, you can match force for force, okay? All right? Because if you got your taser out, but you're trying to take cover, and you're taking cover a little bit far away, and now he pulls out a pistol, he can reach you with the pistol, but you're not going to be able to effectively hit him with the taser because you're too far away, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so the last thing you put away is the first thing coming out of your holster, all right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yep.
Sort that out. It's
Yep.
going to take me a little bit, but I'll get it.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right. If you have the flare gun, that's especially important if you have a flare gun. That's why it's that bright red color. So if you see it in your hand, okay, that's not what I'm trying to get. Right? So you know you have the wrong thing. Any questions about any of this?
No, it's a lot of information, but it's going to take me a little bit to kind of process it.
And that's okay. That's okay, because once you're out in the field and you're with someone that's arresting people and talking to people, and you know, you can see how the other officers conduct themselves in a crowd of people that are being annoying, people that are trying to interfere with you. You can see how the officers communicate with others. If you start off yelling and screaming at people, okay, you've got nowhere to go from there, because if they don't have a weapon in their hand and you start screaming at them like you're paranoid or you're angry, instead of sounding like you mean what you say and you say what you mean, like you in the blue coat, go stand over there right now, and I'll come talk to you in a minute. Go over there right now. Go over there right now. I'm giving him an order. Okay, and it's clear.
Yeah.
It's very clear and easy to understand what I'm telling him to do, and I'm telling him where to go. If I tell him simply to walk away, okay, and he wants to annoy me, I say walk away. What I've seen people do is, captain tells me to walk away, so I walk away, and then I walk up behind him because I'm trying to annoy him. At least I walked away. Things like that. So give them instructions and tell them where you want them to go. Okay? Like sit down over there by the wall, go stand over there by the bus bench, and I'll come talk to you in a moment. Um, you'll experience people coming up on your traffic stops and trying to start a conversation with either you or the people that you've pulled over. And all you need to simply tell them is, sir, I'm conducting a traffic stop here, and I'd really appreciate if you let me finish up what I'm doing, and then if they want to talk to you, they can talk to you. But please let me finish up what I'm doing. That's professional, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's clearly understood. Just give me some room. Because what some people might do is they might have a conversation on a sidewalk right next to where you're doing your traffic stop, and you can hear them over the person in the car, or sometimes if your voice level is not on the same as the cop, or the person in the car is not on the same as the cop, or you're not on theirs, then you can't hear them or they can't hear you. So it makes a difference when there's other people around talking. Okay?
Yeah.
And some civs will make it a point to try to annoy you to see how mad they can make you. But stay professional. Yeah, stay professional and do your thing. And if they really want your attention and they will not leave you alone, what they're doing is obstruction of justice by not allowing you to conduct your job. So they're keeping you from doing your job, then you go over there and you put them in cuffs and you put them in your car. And if they'll shut up long enough for you to do your stop, then maybe you can let that guy go that you pulled over and then talk to this guy, hey, it's not wise for you to interfere with the cops on a traffic stop. If the guy starts mouthing off, take him to jail for obstruction and charge him with either obstruction or charge him with creating a disturbance. One of the two. Okay? Based on what he did and how much the people run their mouths. Okay? So you do just a little test. It's the way they act towards you will dictate how you need to treat them. Okay? If they're just there to completely annoy the hell out of you, you have to do something. You don't pull out your gun. You don't pull out your taser unless you absolutely need to. But if you go to put your hands on them and they try to run, and then you stop chasing them and you try to conduct your traffic stop again and they come back at you again, take your taser out and tase them and cuff them and put them in your patrol car. Make a decision that you need to stay there and keep on doing your stop, or cut that person. Here's your ID, sir. Just slow down next time and go get in your car and take that person to jail. Okay? All right. I know it's a lot of information, but there's a lot of stuff that if you know before you go out on patrol, it's gonna help you. Okay? I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. All right. You have any questions at all?
I'm just trying to process.
Any questions at all about any of this?
I'm thinking. I don't think so.
Okay. Let me ask a couple of questions. So, what are the 4 safety factors for the firearm? You know what they are? It's a lot of common sense. Though. Think about this, okay? Every weapon is loaded. Okay? Don't point it at somebody that you're not willing to shoot. Okay? All right? Okay? Keep your finger off the trigger, okay, until you have a target. So you come up on...
One of them is never point it at one of your officers. Always go like left or right. Correct?
Right, that's when you're going to go right. So don't point at your weapon at anything you're not willing to shoot. So you're not going to shoot your partners, obviously. So when you go into a building, you just make sure that you're safe. If you're in the back, which a lot of people always want to be in the front, and I don't have a problem with that because I don't want any weapons crossing my body when I'm in front of them. So if you're in a crowded space where it's a small doorway, we got to do, make a plan. Left, right. When we go inside, blend in. Right? Everyone has an assignment where to go. What I like to do for going into a building is go in left, right. So 2 guys on the left, 2 guys on the right side of the door. Okay? First guy in goes left. Second guy in goes to the right. Okay? The third guy goes straight in. So we have the left, right, and the middle of the room covered. The fourth guy steps into the room that we're going into and turns around and covers the back of everybody that just walked in the room. If it's a very small room, like a closet or something, but it's big enough to walk around the back of the door, when we go in, okay, small room, hold up. So one guy goes in, he checks the room instead of everybody piling in. The reason why we don't want to do that is because if all four of us are in the same room, it will make it really super easy for the gunman, if there's someone behind us, to shoot us all and get us all in a couple of shots, okay? So you're being careful, but for now, we don't have a SWAT team. I don't know if there's any close quarters battle training, but what I do is left, right, and make sure someone is watching outside the door when you go in, because the civs like to rob the bank, and they also like to have someone on watch. Oh, wait, there's 5 cops outside. They've got assault rifles. They're getting ready to go in. So we have to think about it, assume that it's a possibility that the gunmen that are inside the bank or the store we're going to rob are already ready for us to go in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to jump ahead of what the captain wants.
Doing a routine, like a perimeter check, like around the bank.
Right. So if we have enough officers, let's say we go to the bank. I don't know. Does the big bank captain have a back door that we can exit or no?
The big bank, what bank do you mean? Do you mean the Pacific Standard?
The big one up on the hill by the theater.
Yeah. No, it does not have a back door. It has 2 doors though. That's front. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Does. We call that a back door.
Well, no, there's 2 doors on the main street. I think Vinewood, right? Vinewood.
Yes.
But
that's the
there's an alley. Okay, those are the only 2 doors. Okay, there's an alleyway behind the bank, and that might be where a gunman with a getaway car is going to hide, or something, or someone that's going to ambush the cops when they go in, or something. So you just got to be careful. So if you have enough officers, you surround the building, and you're having someone in the area that's in a car. We did that twice last night. They robbed the bank, and I think it was a captain or somebody else stayed in their vehicle. So when the gunman let go of the hostage and got into their car and ran, there was already somebody in a vehicle waiting to go chase them. All right. So, all right. What else you want to go over, Captain?
So I think we should go over traffic stops.
Okay.
That's important.
Okay.
We can just do one. I can just get 2 cars. We can just do a traffic stop. You can just show
Yeah,
how.
yeah,
and then we
yeah.
can do a traffic stop.
That's not hard. It's one of the simplest things you're going to do. What comes into play on a traffic stop is if anybody interferes, like I talked about, or the cooperation or non-cooperation of the person inside the car. All right, let's come down here. Come on down here.
Oh,
He's going to go get another car right now.
I can just go ahead and take one over here.
All right.
Don't mind me. There we go. Just hop in the police vehicle. We'll just set it up here. I'm just gonna set the car up.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So I'll show you how I do this. Okay, Sophie.
okay.
All right, so you find somebody with a violation, a vehicle violation, like speeding, 55 and a 45, right? So what you do is you call dispatch. You say I would say Ida 8 to dispatch. Dispatch would say go. Say Ida 8 on traffic. It's a full-size Suburban, occupied one time. We're on Center Street, and we are north of Vespucci, right? Okay, so I get out of the car. I walk up to the car. Now my partners know what kind of vehicle it is, and if we have we don't have a license plate reader, do we? We don't have that, right, Captain?
We do.
Okay, so yeah, so if we have a license plate reader, we get the license plate, and if we get the name of the person, now we know the name of the person, the owner of the vehicle, okay? So you walk up to the car. You've already told your dispatch the color of the car, the make and the model of the car. It's a Suburban, full size, occupied one time, gray in color. All right, and as I walk up, say, dispatch, that license plate's going to be 87 King Victor George 242. 87 King Victor George 242. I walk up to the car. They have their windows up. Hello, sir, can you put the windows down, please?
Actually, I don't know how.
Okay, all right, so you can put the windows down here. Sir, I'm Officer Steele with the LSPD, and I stopped you for going 55 in a 45 zone. Can I see your driver's license and your insurance, please? Also the registration. All right, so he hands me the information. I say, sir, stay in your vehicle, turn the engine off. If it's not off already, keep your hands up on the wheel and I'll be right back. Now what you're going to do is the paperwork side of it, okay? So number one, you want to know, Sophie, if the person driving the car that I have his license for, you want to know if he has a warrant, okay? You want to know if he has a warrant, all right? You want to know if the car is stolen. Is the car in his name? If the car is in hhis name, he does not have a warrant. Now you make a decision, okay, as to give him a warning or give him a ticket, all right? So let's see what we're going to do here. Okay, so Z, there it is. Okay, press your Z as in zebra button. Do you see a white number over the Suburban?
Yep.
Okay, so what his number is 97. So we can both type this if you want to do it this way. We walk up to him. All right, sir, I'm going to give you a ticket for 55 in a 45 zone. Okay, so I'll go over it with you. You're going to type, Sophie, you're going to type, hit T, okay, and then a slash, type the word fine, F-I-N-E, okay,
Yeah.
all right, and then you're going to hit space. You're going to put his number in. His driver's license number is 97, and then you're going to type the amount, which is, let's say, just $300, okay, and then the reason is 55 space in 45 space zone, okay, all right, and then you're going to hit enter. And I billed him $300, okay. Did you do the same? You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so to role play the ticket, you'd say, what I do is I walk up to the car and I say, all right, sir, I wrote you a ticket. Can you just sign down here on the bottom? He signs the ticket, and then I do my typing. I hit enter, and once I've done that and he has the ticket and it's good to go, all right, sir, here's your ID back. Try to slow down, sir. Have a good day. And I go back to my car, and when I get back to my car and this car takes off, you always want to let them take off first. Don't get in your car when they're inside their car. They might take off. If you're in their car, they might jump out of their car with a gun and shoot you while you're still in your car. Okay? So let the person that you take off, let the person that you pulled over, let them take off.
Oh my God.
Oh! What was that? How'd that happen? Okay, so let the person that you pulled over take off first, okay? And then you get back in your car and you say, I would say I-8 to dispatch. Dispatch says go. So I-8 is 10-8 again from the traffic stop on Center, north of Vespucci. Now, they know my last location by me saying this, okay? You might have someone that was not on duty when you put out that you were on a traffic stop. That's why it's important to communicate with your partners, okay, that you are code 4 and you're back in service from the traffic stop. Any questions?
Okay.
All right.
Just how do we park the vehicle when we do a traffic stop?
Okay, so I'll do it like this here. So you get in the
Okay.
car. So you get in the
It's just I
car.
don't know if we park it like directly behind them.
Right. Well, what you're going to do is you have to keep two things in mind. Okay, where you're at is number one, and the traffic, the frequency of the traffic behind you. What I do sometimes is I pull up on the curb, okay, and then I angle my car, and I try to angle it to where if this guy gets out with a gun and I'm out of my car, I can use my car for cover. but I'm not blocking traffic that's coming up behind us, okay? So I get out of my car. This is how I would park my car. I try to angle my car, okay, but not park it in a way that it's going to block traffic, unless it's a busy street and I don't want anybody coming near me. Some locals will stop if they have your light bar on. If you got your light bar on, the locals won't pass you up, okay? But on some streets that are busy, okay, this is how I park my car. If it's a busy street, okay, it's not moving. I don't know what the problem is.
Press K.
Okay. All right. No, engine halted.
Press it again. There we go. I should move now.
No.
Can I try? Let me see.
Try.
It might be damaged. It might be, maybe it was damaged from it jumped forward for some reason. Okay, so
Yeah, the car is.
it's destroyed? Okay, so basically, Sophie, park the middle of your grill, park the middle of your car, even with the driver's side taillight of the car you've pulled over. And what that's going to do,
That's what I said, right?
yeah, the driver's side left side. So that's what that's going to do. That's going to give you about 2 or 3 feet of room between their car and where another car would pass up your car. That'll give you about 3 feet, so you could come over here and talk to the driver. Okay. Now, Captain, tell me if I'm wrong or not. If there are 2 people in the car, and I want someone to show me their ID, one of them needs to step out of the car, right? What I do, Sophie, is I have the driver step out, okay? Because it's unlikely that the passenger is going to jump over to the driver's seat and steal his buddy's car, and leave his buddy there. It's unlikely. It might happen, but it's unlikely. Okay, so I have the driver step out. Sometimes a passenger wants to get out. You say, no, passenger, go ahead and get back in. I want the driver to step out. Because the driver is the person you pulled over. The driver is the person you want to direct your conversation to. Okay? Not the passenger. All right? And if you say something to the driver that he doesn't like, they might take off on you. They might start their car up and take off on you. Okay? So lessen the likelihood of someone taking off on you, and just have the driver step out. And it's all about how you ask. Hey, sir, I know you got someone in there in the vehicle with you. Could you just step over here on the sidewalk with me? And what I do is I don't want to walk between the 2 cars, so I come over here, I walk up on the sidewalk, I get way up here on the sidewalk as well. Okay? Because if he tries to run from me, I might have time to pull my taser out and tase him if he tries to run away from me. Okay? So if I get him way up here on the sidewalk, way up here, this is where I go, and I have just come on up here and talk to me. So now we're talking. So if he was to try to run, and I had my taser was the last thing I put away, I hit 6, I aim at him, and I tase him, and he's on the sidewalk. And now I put out that I need backup, because now I have one guy down that might get up again, that I don't know what he has on him. I have another guy in the car that might jump out with a gun, and I only have my taser. So now I'm going to switch. I'm going to have to switch from my taser to my gun, because I don't know what I'm going to be encountered with. But if I want to take cover, I'm not going to stand out here in the open on the sidewalk. Okay? All right?
Okay.
All right, so it's just a lot of factors to keep in mind when you're doing traffic stops. A lot of it is how you speak to people. They might completely deny, they might argue with you. You be upfront with them when you go up and you talk to them. I tell them, I'm Officer Steele with the LSPD. I pulled you over because of this. That's it. Some people think, oh, I pulled you over because you have a warrant. I tell them, I pulled you over for going 55 in a 45 zone. Can I see your license, registration, and your insurance? You're being professional and you're being upfront with them, okay? Some people sometimes don't want to show you their ID until you tell them. I tell them up front. I haven't run their name. I have a little bit of an idea of who the driver might be, but there's no telling that just because you pulled it over and John Smith owns the car, it might not be John Smith in the driver's seat, right? It might be someone who stole John Smith's car from his driveway. Now you've pulled them over. They don't want to go to jail. So you ask them for their ID, and if they start, like, you know what, I don't know why you need to see my ID. I really don't want to show you my ID. Sir, there's nothing wrong. I'll show you my ID. Just show me your ID. That's all I want to see. Just show me who you are. That's all I want to do. And if he refuses again, you say, okay, and you take a couple steps back and you call for a backup unit, okay? This guy doesn't want to show me his ID, can I get 1 unit backup? Now you have 2 people there, okay? So the guy's going to show us his ID. If he tries to run, I might have another officer in a car ready to chase after him. I might have another officer out already, standing in an area where the person I'm talking to can't see, but my partner has his taser out, and he's got it down at his side, and he's standing somewhere where the guy that I'm talking to can't see his hands. So you do that to where, because some people will see that this guy's getting ready to tase me, I'm going to have to pull out my gun and shoot. They're going to panic, or they might keep their cool and might try to talk themselves out of it, okay? All right. Let's talk about something else on a traffic stop. The flashlight, when you bring your flashlight out at night, you're using it primarily to illuminate the dark or illuminate somewhere where you're looking. But if someone runs up on you and starts hitting you with the fist, go ahead and throw a punch at the captain. Bare fist. Put your flashlight away. Throw a punch at the captain. Number 2. Hit number 2. All right, go punch him. Punch him. Punch him. Now he hits you with his flashlight because he's not going to put it away. Hey, see right there, stop. Stop. See that? And get some distance if you can. Now, if he wants to, he can try to switch to the taser and tase you. But now you're assaultive. You're assaultive. You're trying to hit him with your fist. You're assaultive. So now he switched to the taser and he tases you. Taser. Taser. Okay. Ineffective. Again. There it goes. Now it works. Now get up on her. Get up there. Get up there and cuff her when she starts. Stop right there. Stop right there. Now I've got my taser out pointed at you. Right? So exactly. Now he's got you cuffed. There you go. Now he's got you cuffed. And now you're under his control. So what he did is he did what he had to do to gain control of you. And he's going to maintain control of you by cuffing you and putting you in a police car after making sure you don't have contraband or weapons on you. Okay? There's a lot of stuff to learn, but a lot of it can be done here before you even leave the station. And some of it, you're going to need to experience a little bit of it so you can see what you do. You're going to make mistakes. Other people around you are going to make mistakes. You're going to see how they correct themselves, okay? There you go.
I think the last thing I want to go through is basically how to do communication in a car chase, right?
Okay, all right.
If you just hop in that vehicle here, Steel, and drive away from me, I'll be in the police cruiser.
Okay.
And basically, what's it called? Doing the command so she can hear how it sounds. When
Okay, all right, all right. What did you do? What did you? Wait. Hold on. Let me get a little. Yeah. There we go. Got a screenshot. Okay, now we're good. Does it work? It does work, right? Okay, cool.
Wait, where am I for you?
No, you were on top of the fire hydrant. Yeah. It looked like you were at an auto shop with your car up on a jack. Is what it looked like. But your car was balancing on top of the fire hydrant.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, you ready?
All right. So basically, I would call into this, but I'm saying most likely what would happen is I would say attempting a 38 and then the vehicle, make and model, and then he takes off from me. I would say it's turning into an active 80. As soon as it turns into an active 80, you give your location. You constantly keep updating that location, right? So you would say currently heading westbound Vespucci Boulevard, now headed on to Strawberry Boulevard, running a red light, and then you state how fast they're going, so about 50 miles an hour, westbound Vespucci Boulevard, next to Pillbox Hill, taking a left onto the construction site, and you keep that up, you keep that communication up to basically tell everybody where they are. So now we're southbound Power Street, continuing, ran another red light. You keep updating what they're doing wrong, so we can know when to bump them up to code amber, and say you go for a pit.
Yeah.
So speed's still about 55 miles an hour, southbound Olympic Freeway. He took a left. We're now headed on to eastbound Power Street, Innocence Boulevard. He just basically keep this up, right?
Right.
Keep telling them where they are, and you can see
Okay.
down in the bottom left next to the map where it is if you don't know the street
Yeah.
names, and you just basically say where that is, right? So right now where are we now, Sophie? You try it real quick, just slowly.
We're on Innocence Boulevard. Eastbound?
Yes, exactly.
Right,
Keep that
right,
up. So try
right.
that for me, but just a little bit. We're going slow anyway, so it's easy.
Okay. Innocence Boulevard.
Okay.
Just ran a red line.
Okay. Can I add to this? Captain?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, so Sophie, give cross streets, okay? Like right now, we're going over the river. We're eastbound on Innocence, going over the river. Everyone knows where the river is, right? The big LA, the big river, okay? Now the street coming up, okay, Innocence Boulevard, continuing. We just crossed over Popular Street. We're still continuing eastbound. Speeds are 40 miles per hour. Okay, he's making a left, going through an industrial zone. We're going northbound. Industrial zone, stand by for location. Right? So we come back out, and when we come back out, you get the street name, okay? You have your siren on so they can hear you, okay? So if you're secondary, there you go. All right, we're turning left on the Capitol Boulevard. We're going to go over the river. Going over the river now on Capitol Boulevard, westbound. Vehicle just run a red light at Popular Street. Continuing over the Capitol Bridge. Capitol Bridge, westbound. We just crossed Little Bighorn. Continuing on Capitol Boulevard, westbound. Speeds are 65 miles per hour. Coming through the city, we're at the gas station. We're turning left. Turning left onto Strawberry, going northbound on Strawberry. Under the freeway now. Pursuit continuing, crossing Adams Apple Boulevard, northbound, crossing Vespucci. Speeds are about 65 miles per hour. Okay. We're coming up on San Andreas, making a left on San Andreas. Now he's making a right onto Elgin Boulevard, Elgin Avenue. Now going northbound in the tunnel. You give landmarks. If you don't know the street, give landmarks. We're going northbound on Elgin. We're passing Pillbox upper level. Right? We're going over the La Puerta Freeway. Now we're veering off left. Continuing northbound Elgin Avenue. Meteor Street. There you go. Crossing Hawick on Meteor Street. There you go. Sorry. Go ahead, Sophie. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Didn't mean to take over.
So we're traveling northbound on Media Street. Still traveling northbound Media Street. Running with it. Okay, going left. Still going westbound, on Vinewood Boulevard.
There you go.
We're traveling westbound. Vinewood Boulevard. Speeds are around 60, 65. Left onto Straight Las Lagunas Boulevard, southbound. Running red light, still southbound on Las Lagunas Boulevard. Running red light.
Speeds, traffic.
Southbound. Wait.
What's your speed?
Okay, we are traveling around 60 miles.
Okay, there you go.
He is weaving in and out of traffic, running a red light now, going left. Eastbound San Andres Avenue. Running another red light, going right. Southbound Alta Street.
So let's,
Taking a
for
left.
example, say that
Okay.
he crashes. That's
Okay.
a 1050. So you need to state that he's 1050, and you need to state the severity.
Wait,
Is
it's
he
not
still
1050.
mobile or not? And if he's 1050 is really
Eastbound.
hard, then you say hard 1050, right? You need to like give us an indication of how hard he crashed, so we also know what state the vehicle is in.
Okay.
So vehicle
So-
smoking. Vehicle stopped and smoking.
Okay. So if it's completely just smashed up, is vehicle immobilized?
Right.
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. And if he keeps moving, you say
Then we would
1050 is still
only-
mobile.
Right.
Okay. So if he does crash and I'm the only one here, do I just try and book him in, or do I keep clear?
That's going to be situation by situation based, right? The best thing you can do
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
keep your eyes on him and then wait for additionals. You don't want him to go out and shoot you, right? You can
Right.
just jump out of the car and start shooting you.
Okay.
So that generally you want to keep
Alright, if
looking
he does,
because
just back the fuck up.
yeah, because
Yeah.
for example, say you're chasing somebody on a motorcycle and they have a Uzi, right? He crashes into that, he falls off. You drive up like this, he's gonna shoot you with the Uzi. So like
Yeah.
you keep distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you angle yourself like this. You could get out of the car and point
Yeah.
your gun at him.
Cover.
And then wait for additionals. You just need
Yeah.
cover.
Yep.
And at the
Okay.
same time, do you
Alright.
have your gun in your hand? I'll show you something. Say,
Me
come out and
or-
come out and put your gun in your hand, Sophie. So enter the vehicle with your gun in your hand. Enter the vehicle with your gun in your hand.
I'm trying. How do you get it out?
You don't have your gun in your hand. Ever.
6. Come on. Step out and hit 6 until you got your pistol by your side. There you go. Now you got it. Now you got it. Okay, go ahead and get in. All right.
So as you step up, what you want to do is, as soon as you press F to get out, you aim your gun. Okay. So on my go.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, go.
Get out and aim. There you go.
So that will keep your doors open. That gives you
There you
extra
go.
cover.
Yep. Okay. All right. And
Yeah,
then
just feel free to hop in.
right. And then so yeah, you just got your you've secured the guy. He's stopped, and you're holding one at gunpoint, and you need extra units, right? And if 2 more units show up over here, and then maybe have 1 unit go back there to that street behind you, and not let any more traffic come down this way, if possible, like set up barriers or something, right? So
Yeah,
we can
exactly.
conduct our police business and not get run over by locals. All right.
Yeah, and then at the same
Okay.
time, generally in a car pursuit in a 1080, you have 3 officers. So you have the primary. The primary's job is to keep eyes on this individual, keep up with him, and he is the one who's going to go for pits if pits are necessary and needed. Then you have the secondary officer, who is behind the primary, who basically makes all the call-outs, where they're turning to, where they're going, the situation, the speeds, the weather, the traffic, and how the person is driving. And then you have the tertiary unit. The tertiary unit is only there for safety reasons. So let's say the primary unit goes in for a pit, right? I go in, I pit this vehicle, he spins out, I spin out. Then the secondary goes in and assumes primary. The tertiary becomes secondary. You wait until they pass you and you assume tertiary position, which means you're just waiting there until something happens or somebody crashes so that you can take over.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's generally how we do it. It's going to take some getting used to, but I think the only thing we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
left to show you here on my checklist is a code 5 stop. So if you hop in this vehicle, still, let's show our code 5 stop.
All right.
You were ran through how we did the code 5 stops here, right?
Do we do them like we did at the other place?
2 cars behind with pistols, 1 car. Yeah, the same commands and everything.
Okay.
Except we have 1 car in front with a shotgun, and if they take off, we shoot to disable the vehicle.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. All right.
Yeah, I'll show you the setup. You'll get it pretty quickly, but the commands are the same, like the
Okay.
voice commands, so
Okay.
you'll get that pretty quickly.
All right.
So I'm just gonna go over here to the police impound, so I can take out 2 more vehicles, because all my vehicles are in the impound, because I'm bad at paying bills.
All right.
I don't actually know where it is by heart, do I? I do.
Good. Go this way. Go straight. Go straight. One more. The next light after this is the impound on the right side. On the corner, right after this big gate. Yeah, the second gate. The second gate is the impound.
Oh yeah, the second. Oh wait, this right here. We have 2 cars in.
Oh, it is here. Okay. All right.
We can just set it up here. So that vehicle down there is gonna be the. We just need to figure out what to do with this vehicle that's flipped. Yeah, just drive these vehicles out. I'll take out 1 more. Just drive these out to the street there, and I'll show you on the street what to do.
All right.
Don't mind me. I don't know. Don't ask.
All right.
We need 1 more vehicle. So.
What do you
I'll
want?
give you more distance. Yeah, go ahead.
Which car are we pulling over?
And we're pulling over her car. Right.
Okay, all right,
So
okay.
just get out of that car,
All right.
Sophie, because you're gonna be you're gonna be a cop. You're not gonna be a criminal. So Sophie, first and foremost, I'll explain the setup to you, and then Steele will explain the voice commands to you. Okay? So I'll show you here. So you have a primary unit, a secondary unit, and a tertiary unit in this, right? This is a code 5 stop, this is a felony stop, this is if the person either has active warrants and or his vehicle is stolen and we need to stop him, right? It's obvious discretion when you call for a code 5 stop, but if it's just somebody driving a stolen vehicle, maybe you don't need a code 5 stop depending on how compliant he is. So the first two vehicles here, as you see, they're kind of gonna be parked in this pizza form, where they are angled towards each other. Where they are.
Is there a car here? Oh, okay. I see it now. Come on here.
So these two vehicles are gonna be parked in a pizza shape, in a sense, so that your vehicle provides cover for him, right? And his vehicle provides cover for him, and you have the cover of your vehicle over here as well, right?
Okay.
So the primary unit over here, this guy will step out with a taser, right? They will step out with a taser in their hand, and they're the ones who are going to be issuing all the verbal commands. The secondary unit will step out with a lethal in their hand, pointing it at the car, right? And the tertiary unit up here will step out of their vehicle with a shotgun, aiming it at the hood of the vehicle. Should the person try to take off, you shoot the hood of the vehicle, the car is disabled. You do not shoot the person, you shoot the vehicle. You also have to inform them that if they should take off, we will shoot to disable their vehicle. That way most people don't take off. Otherwise they will just take off, right? So that's pretty simply put. So go ahead and sit in the second car and be secondary and listen to how Rocksteel is the primary.
Okay.
The second car, the black car. And I'm gonna go ahead and be the criminal, and I'm gonna be following the commands of Rocksteel. What your job is as the secondary is basically, one, you keep the primary safe. Two, as soon as he's gonna give me voice commands to walk back towards you, once I get close to you, you put me in handcuffs, you escort me behind your vehicle so I'm in safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go ahead with all units and clear the vehicle and make sure nothing else is in there, and you do this process for every single individual in the car. So if there's three people, you do it for all three. If there's one, you do it for everybody. But you should never be taking your gun off the vehicle unless you are securing the hostage, putting him back. As soon as you've secured him, you go ahead and call that, not hostage, sorry, the driver. Go ahead and say that you've secured the suspect behind the vehicle, and then the process continues. Right?
Okay.
All right, so I get out. I have my gun out. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, driver, turn off the engine. Driver, roll down all the windows. All the windows go down. Driver, with your left hand, remove the keys from the ignition and throw them out the driver's side window. The keys come out, hit the street. Now the guy can't take off, right? So we're going to assume that there's only one person in the car. Driver, when I tell you to, step out of the vehicle with your hands up and empty. Okay? So driver, do it now. Step out of the car, face away from me, with your hands up and empty. Use your Victor muscle. Don't face me. Don't face me. Use your Victor muscle and back up. Back up, back up. Towards me. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, stop. Move to your left. Move to your left. All right, I'm gonna cover the car. You're gonna move up. Keep on going back. Keep on going back. Walk backwards. Oh, this is crazy, man. They go right through the.
They don't care.
Okay, so look. So he's got his hands up. Let me. Okay, so let me put my weapon away. So he's got his hands up and he's coming back to you. Okay, and make sure that when you grab hold of the guy, that you grab hold of him just before where your partner is, so the guy can't jump in your partner's car and take off, or he can't fight with your partner. So right here, and you come up, you say, communicate with him. You say, I got him. Okay, he's cuffed. Now you're going to escort him, so you drag him back to the car, right? If it's only a couple of cops, okay, you have to search him and put him in the car. So you search him, you take his weapons off of him, put him in a car, and then he's secured, and then we can move up. Okay, so that if we ask this guy behind the car, when they're cuffed, they can't run, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a soft cuff or a hard cuff where they can't move?
Hard cuff.
They can't move. If you hard cuff them, they cannot move. If you soft cuff them, they can walk away. So hard cuff them and leave them at the back of the car, and that way they can't move. So once you believe that everybody's out of the car, we're going to use the +1 rule, because we don't know. There might be someone in the back seat that we can't see, or the third guy can't see, okay? So anyone left in the gray Charger, make yourself known now. Anyone else in the gray Charger, make yourself known now. So we called it out twice, loud enough for them to hear us. So now what we're going to do is Captain either is it
Counterclockwise, all
okay?
and then
All right.
as soon as you see something is clear, you call out that it's clear, you check the trunk, make sure it's clear, and then
Okay, so are we moving up on the same side of the car? Is that correct, or is it just two people?
basically everybody's moving counterclockwise to each other, keep it a good distance, even though it's coming to each other's crossing.
Right, right, and then move up, right? Oh my
Anyone wants
gosh,
to run over Sophie?
I don't know what the hell.
Instead, okay. So basically what we do then is, you call, the primary unit will call for a clearing of the vehicle. He'll ask if everybody's ready. Everybody's going to say yes. And then we start moving counterclockwise, right? So we move this way. So everybody start moving counterclockwise. And then I can see the front. I'll say the front side is clear. Then he sees the passenger side. We move closer. He sees passenger side clear. Or driver side clear. I say passenger side clear.
Okay,
And then we check the trunk. And if the trunk is clear, we say trunk clear. And then vehicle clear. And we continue about our, the rest
so
of that guy
so we're
who was in
circling the car.
with him.
All right, so we're circling the car counterclockwise. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we circle it counterclockwise. We inch closer and closer in while all pointing our guns at the vehicle.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, sounds good.
You only learn this by doing it a bunch of times.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can't be primary, just ask to be secondary because you're not confident being primary. People will take over for you. But you won't be primary until you're done with the FTO phases anyway. So.
Okay.
Okay, so we went over the fining people for a ticket. So you want to go over the jailing without actually
Yeah.
doing it? Okay, so to jail somebody, you're going to need the document in the police documents. You need that document so you can look at the penal codes and look for the jail time and the fines that you give people when they go to jail and they commit crimes. And so you're going to fine them, okay, like you did for a traffic stop. So you're going to use the /fine space their government ID number, okay, and then you're going to use the amount that you're going to charge them, and then the charges. So you do a charge, and you put like a slash between the charges. If there's multiple charges, all right, and then you fine them. You fine them first, and then you're going to do the same thing with jail. In a jail, when you jail them, you're going to do /jail space their government number, the amount of time they're going to do, and then their charges. Okay, so they could have traffic fines, and they could still get arrested for, like they say, reckless driving with injuries or something. Okay, so you're gonna fine them, and you're gonna jail them, and when you hit enter after you jail them, it sends them on their way. When you bring them into the jail, it's wise that if I pass someone off to you, Sophie, and I say, hey, I searched this guy, that's fine. If you pass someone off to me, Sophie, that you say I searched him, I'm going to search him anyway. Because there might be something that I want to remove off of him that maybe didn't, in your mind, didn't need to be removed. Like, it might be lockpicks, it might be toolkits. They're not weapons. I don't want to take everything off of somebody. Do they get weapons back when we take them? When we take them, they never see them again. Is that correct?
Yes, they disappear.
Okay, so when we take a weapon, they don't get it back again. And what about licenses? Are we doing licenses?
Yes, we can take them away, but they can buy a new one for $300. So it's
Okay,
not
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a quick update, something you should know.
Okay.
In the near future, weapon licenses will work differently. They will be handed out by the PD. When they come to get a weapons license, we're going to question them on gun safety. Whereafter we can issue them a weapons license. If they lose it, they have to stay crime-free for 7 days to get another one.
Okay, all right. Okay, so
That's like my role.
Yes, 7 and you like this.
Okay.
all right, so you bring someone to the jail, and you're going to process them into the jail. You get them out of the car. If you've hard cuffed them, they cannot move, correct? So you got to uncuff them and then soft cuff them so they can walk. Is that correct, Captain?
I believe so.
Say that again.
Okay. If you arrest, you take someone to the station, and you've hard cuffed them, okay? They cannot walk when they get out of the car until you uncuff and soft cuff them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can hard cuff them, and then you're going to escort them to the car. Yeah. Go ahead and hard cuff him. There you go. There you go. All right.
And then escort?
Yeah. Escort.
Okay.
So now you walk him over to the car. Now we have to hit escort quickly, and then put in car. Correct, right? Otherwise, there's a problem. There you
You
go.
can do it without unescorting.
Okay, so you can. Okay. All right.
So it's just
All right.
kind of exactly the same as the email, only without the cuffs.
Right. So you put him in the vehicle, and then you're making arrests in the field. Make sure you're updating like where you're at. You're en route to Mission Row from Davis and Strawberry with one in custody, or the 10 code for one in custody. Right. You get there.
Okay.
Right. When you get there, you got to get the guy out of the car, and you're either going to escort him, or you're going to take him out of the car and uncuff him, and then soft cuff him so he can walk on his own. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you want to try? Yeah. Go ahead and get him out. Yeah. Go ahead and get him out. Uncuff and then soft cuff. All right. So then, yeah. There you go. Turn away. There you go. You want to. Okay. And for RP wise, make sure they're facing away from you when you cuff. Okay, so you cuffed him. You cuffed him. Now he can move. Can you walk? Can you walk, sir?
Nope.
You can't walk. Okay. So how does this work?
I just have to do it a couple of times if it doesn't work. That's the thing.
Okay, so uncuff him and soft cuff him again.
There we go.
There you go. Now you can go. All right. So then you're going to have him. You're going to direct him to go down the stairs and stand in front of the door on the right. You're going to go down the stairs and unlock the door on the left. And so walk in the door on the left. He walks in. There's 2 sets of steps. Walk down all the steps and face the 2 white doors on the left side. He walks in and he faces the doors. You walk up there to him and go over what he has on him one more time before you put him inside the cage. And what I like to do is I like to put people in the middle cell, because it gives even room. He's not nowhere near the door as if he was on the end. Because some of your partners, it's going to happen. Someone in the PD will walk down there to the jail cells, and they will leave a door open. Okay, they will leave a door open. It will happen. So you want to assume that none of the doors are locked. So you're going to have the guy walk up to the middle cell, okay, and tell him to stay there, okay. Tell him when I unlock the door, walk all the way to the back of the wall, all the way to the back, and stay there until I tell you to come back. As soon as he walks in, the door swings shut, lock that door, then go check all of your other doors, okay? All right? So if someone leaves something open, or you take this guy out of the cell for some reason, he's not going to be able to escape, okay? All right, so, and what you're doing is you're giving them instructions, because without instructions, they don't want to do anything to get in trouble. They don't want to do anything to make you mad or upset you or make you do something that you shouldn't do, like tase them or something. Okay, just because someone's walking away, you know, stop, sir, stop. Come back over here. Come back over here, right now. He doesn't come back. So you're going to come over here now. He's not watching. Okay, so you're going to go to your F6, and you're going to escort, because he's not doing what you're saying. So bring up your F6 menu, get the escort thing ready, and escort. Got it?
I think that's all before you can.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
Like, there's a lot of things that have to be worked on.
oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Well, if someone walks away from you and they're not paying attention to you, just because they're cuffed doesn't mean they can't be tased in order to get control of them, okay? Keep that in mind, all right?
Okay.
And if they give you a problem out there in the Sally Port, like they're going to walk away, call for another unit. Ida 8, I'm in the Sally Port at the jail, Mission Row. I need another unit to block the gate. Got a guy walking away from me. That's it. Simple, short, to the point. And they're going to come over there, code 3. And they're going to watch, you know, because we can't lock the gate right there, right? The Sally Port gate, we can't lock that, right?
We can.
We can lock it? Okay. The sliding gate, not
Yeah.
the one for the garage, the one in the back for the Sally Port. It does lock.
It's stuck. So sometimes it'll be locked, but it'll be open for them. So it's like,
Okay, all right. Well, you do your best then. When you get out of the car at the Sally Port, get out of your car, walk up to the gate when it's shut, and hit the button. Is it E to lock it, right? And lock the gate, and it indicates that it's locked, and then let the guy out of the car, okay? All right? So just maintaining control of them, basically, is what you're doing. All right? So the jail is just it's slash jail space their ID space the time they're going to do, and the maximum time right now is 90 months, right? Captain, it's 90 months per the notice in the PD chat. It's 90 months. So if the guy has 5 or 6 charges and it goes over 90, what I would do, what I suggest you do, is if there's felonies and then there's 1 or 2 misdemeanors, drop the misdemeanors to bring it below 90. Okay. All right. Captain, go over with her, what if you would, about officer discretion, like when there's something wrong with something going on. Okay, go ahead.
Let's go ahead. Uncuff me first, please, Sophie.
Yeah, uncuff him. Yeah. All right.
So,
All
of
right.
course, a lot of things can happen, especially because some of the script on the server is kind of strange, and of course, we're fixing it. But some people can be scuffed, right? Their vehicles they're driving away from you, and the thing is, in a chase, it is not so much me against you, it is my character against your character. We're both role-playing, we're both having fun. And if your vehicle scuffs out and I catch you, then I can be more, lenient with you. Because obviously that's not, your fault. That chase would have been much longer. You didn't lose because you were a bad driver. You didn't lose because anything, you lost because the game scuffed out, for example. You can be more lenient and shave off time, but not the fine. The same thing is if you're in a situation, right, and that situation is a very pleasant situation to be in. The person is extremely compliant, and the person understands everything that's happening. They're not working against you. You can go ahead and shave off some time there as well. It's your discretion, but maximum 25% of the original time and fine. And I'm gonna run you through the penal code later on, so I'll show you how to use that. But that we don't have to do that here. We can just get it on the Discord. So.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the things that should be covered for her. What
Okay.
we call the P1 and the P1A and P1B. What more do we need covered? Arresting people. So you know how to jail people, right? You understood that?
Yeah, yes.
So
Alright.
slash jail, ID, time,
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah,
fine.
it comes up once you do the
Okay.
Yeah.
slash and then cup and jail.
Yeah.
Like it has what you need to do.
Okay, and
Yeah.
also before you put anybody in your vehicle ever, make sure to search them, make sure they have no weapons on them.
Yeah.
Make sure to Mirandize them. Do you know how to say the Miranda rights?
No, but I will learn it.
At this
That's
point in
right.
time, you have the right to.
In this point of time, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, I don't know after that,
Anything you say or
May-
do can and will be used against you in the court of law.
can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right for an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the one will be what? Appointed to you by the state at no cost. Do you understand these rights as I have read them to you? Could you send that to me in like a message so I can just say it a few times? Okay, that's cool. I'll go over it and just try and.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. Captain, are we using if available? Right? Are we using if available? For the lawyer, is what I'm saying. Like, you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you at the time of questioning if available. Right? So if they say, no, I want an attorney. You said if available, right? So they've got to make a decision. If you're really role-playing it and they're paying attention to what they're doing, and they know that you're saying if available, like if they say, I want a lawyer, so okay, I'll get on Twitter and I'll call, but you're going to be here longer. So you get on Twitter and you say, any lawyers in the city, can you come to Mission Row? We don't have actual lawyers right now, or a DOJ. So if you say available, obviously they're not available. But you've gone that far. You've said that, right? All right, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing, Captain?
Yeah,
Right?
that is what
Okay. Okay. So if they're available, so then the guy's cooperative with you. I knock time off of people when they're cooperative. I've met some people that would love to kill cops all the time, but sometimes I get in contact with them and they're like, hey, I appreciate you not jumping out of your car and shooting me, so I'm gonna take some time off because you didn't give me a problem here. Some people run their mouths. Some people will try to belittle you, everything you do, from your driving to the way you're talking to them. If if you misstate something or misspell something when you give them the fine, they'll just keep on running their mouth. I don't know how Captain wants this done, but what I personally do when I run into someone with a really big mouth and they will not shut up and let me do my job, I leave them there in the cell. I leave them there. I said, based on your attitude and you not allowing me to do my job, I'm going to wait until you calm down. I'll see you in a few minutes. And I leave. I leave the cage for about 5 minutes where they can't see me. I'm down there, but they can't see me. Okay? And if they're quiet and they shut up, give them a couple of minutes. And if they're quiet and they shut up, walk back over there. Say, hey, you let me do my job and I'll send you on your way. And if they're cooperative with you, then continue on with your job. But you're not there to be cussed out and all that stuff. If they're just irate and crazy, you can role play even more and just say, I need EMS to the to Mission Road Jail for a mental ops, a mental evaluation. You can use it. Exactly. You can use it against when they're acting up, take their role play, take it and spin it and make it a role play situation more. It'll extend their time in the jail because they're cussing, screaming, hollering at you and not letting you do your job. There's something wrong with this guy, something mental. I'm going to have to call EMS. You tell them that. I'm going to call EMS and have them evaluate you before I send you to Bolingbroke. Plain and simple. They're going to be there longer. And if they would have shut up, they're going to learn that lesson. If they go into jail and they cause a problem, they stand a chance of being there even longer. But if they cooperate and just open their mouth and talk to the officer when they're asked a question, they're going to get along better and they're going to be on their way a lot faster. Okay?
Alright.
So that's what I do. I mean, and it takes a lot. If they're just talking and say, look, if you talk over me, you're not going to hear what I have to say and you're going to want to know what I'm talking about, what I'm telling you. And if they keep running their mouth, then the way they act towards you will dictate how you treat them, okay? That's pretty much it, Captain. Yeah.
You wanna have coffee?
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. All right. Oh, so she's still, yes, there you go.
Yeah, she didn't ask me.
There you go. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. Okay. So you guys are good.
Yeah, I think we're set. I'm just going to go through some of the penal code and some of the SOPs, and then I think we can start having a ride along.
Okay.
Is it okay if I go for a quick lunch break? 'Cause it's like midday and I'm
Yeah.
starving.
Go for a lunch break.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah.
I'm here anyway, so go for the lunch break. Go relax.
Am I good, Captain, to go and to ride? Okay.
You're
All right.
solo certified. You can go ahead and just do everything you want.
Okay.
I'm sorry it took so long, but there's just been so much chaos.
It's okay. In the city, are there convicts to get out of the garage or no?
Yes. We have
There are,
minutes.
with OSPD on them, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Sophie. I hope I didn't go too fast on that. I know it's a lot of information, but you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be fine. Experience will get you trained up because you're going to see something different every time. One more thing that I want to talk about real quick that I've seen people do it here. I've seen them do it everywhere I go. If you've got a couple officers over here struggling with the guy on the ground, okay, and they've got it under control, don't jump in with them if they've got it under control. Do this and face and watch their backs. If they're down here cuffing a guy on the ground, they've got their back to the public, so you're going to have to be their eyes behind their head. Okay? So, yeah, just watch. Just watch the area. Anybody walking up, say, hey, can you go around for a moment, please? We're busy here. We're doing something here. Can you walk across the street and go by? Because we're really busy here. Just be nice to them. If they cuss you out, no, I'm not doing that. Say, you know what, you're not going to go by here, and if you do, I'm going to arrest you. You're giving them a lawful order. You're straight up giving them a lawful order. I did this the first day out. Up at the motel, a bunch of people walking around, and they kept walking up on us when we're trying to arrest a guy. And I kept intercepting people that were walking up on my partner. What they usually do is they'll do this. They'll walk up behind the partner, behind the cop. And the cop takes his eye off what he's trying to look at, what he needs to look at somebody walking up on him. When his partner is his eyes and ears of what's going on around him, so the person, the primary, can deal with the subject, okay? All right.
So we're just pretty much just,
Yeah.
you know, standing here, taser by our side.
Just have your taser at your side or have your taser away and you're just, hey, you know what, we're busy here. Can you go around, please? That's it. And usually if there's multiple people there and lots of people there, having your taser out down at your side is not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not aggressive. But if you start aiming at everybody that walks by, that's a problem. Yeah. Just common sense. You have common sense. I know you have common sense, okay? I know you do. So you're going to be fine. That's it. All right, Captain. See you later. She wants to eat lunch. I got to go. See you later.
Yes, see you later.
All right. Enjoy your lunch, Sophie. All right.
That was great. Thank you.
Okay. See you later.
Thank you.
All
I'll
right.
see you in the 7.
All right.